Hello, boys and girls. I'm so glad that you're here to join us. I'm going to show you how we're going to create our Art to Remember piece. There's two different ways that you can do that. You can make some squares or you can do circles. Also, we will be printing black hearts or drawing them if you're at home and don't have paint. So let's get started. First, we're going to take our white piece of paper. We're going to use our markers and we are just going to create our circles. If you're doing squares, you're just going to go do that the same way, but you're going to make them squares instead of circles. As you make your circles, you don't need to fill in every area of the circle. You can leave it with some white space because you will see later when we go to paint it with the water, those areas will get filled in anyway. We're just going to kind of go around the paper. I'm choosing to use one color at a time just to kind of speed up the process so I don't have to keep switching between markers. But if you want to do one area at a time, that is totally your choice. We're going to go ahead and speed this video up so you can see where we're heading. We're just finishing up our circles here. So we are going to need a cup of water and a paintbrush. We're going to go ahead and start painting the lighter colored circles first, then go on to the next lightest, which would be orange, then pink, red, green, blue, and violet. We're going to dip our brush in some water and we're just going to make a circle. If you made squares, you could paint it more in a square shape. Add more water as needed. You don't want to have too much water that you're making big puddles, but you want to have enough that the marker is actually getting wet. And you can see, especially on these orange ones, that they are starting to bleed. That's what it's called when the color kind of comes off of the marker and it's filling in those white areas. Like I told you before, you don't need to leave those, you don't need to fill those in all the way. You can just leave them open because the color from the marker will fill in those white spaces. So we're just going to work our way all the way around this paper. Again, going from the lightest colors to the darkest. So I did all of the yellow, all of the orange, all the pink, all the red, all the green, and then to blue and violet. Our paper now has a chance to dry. We're going to need a plate with a small amount of black paint, a toilet paper roll. I'm going to cut this in half just so it makes it a little bit easier to hold. I'm then going to take that toilet paper roll and shape it into a heart by just kind of squeezing it in half to create the bottom point of the heart, and then I'm going to push the top rounded part down to create the top of the heart. We want to make sure it's flat on the top, on the bottom where we're going to go ahead and put the paint just so that it will print nicely. I'm going to go ahead and just tap it gently into the black paint and print. You will see there after I printed it did not print that center part. So I'm going ahead and holding that area with my finger just to make sure that I get a full heart on my paper. I'm going around my paper. If you want to turn them upside down, that's fine. If you want them to all go the same direction, that's fine also. If you're an at-home learner and you don't have any black paint, you could use just your black marker. So I'm going to grab my black marker and then you can start drawing hearts throughout your paper. You could make medium-sized. You can make little bitties. You can make big giant ones. You have a little bit better choice of what size hearts you could put. When you're all complete, check Blackboard for how to upload your picture.